Language. Language is one of the most important tools in our lives. Without it, we wouldn't be able to meet our basic needs. Eat delicious food, sleep well, negotiate, and so on. But what happens when it comes to learning a foreign language?
He who knows no foreign languages knows nothing of his own.
Knowing foreign languages helps you notice difference and unique features in both the foreign language and your native tongue. However, the process of learning can be terribly boring and tedious, even exhausting to the point of burnout. In this video, I want to share some tips for learning languages and make this process more engaging. How did you learn your native language? Yes, you learned it, not just suddenly started speaking it one day. No, really. I think it's worth breaking down the components of a language into these 4 boxes. It's simple and I'm sure you're already familiar with this. When you came into this world, you didn't understand a single word, you just listened. A lot. Your brain worked to build logical connections from everything you heard. Then you started repeating what you heard. For example, your parents could say, say mama, or no, say papa. At that point, you began to speak, not necessarily correctly right away. You didn't know the grammatical rules of the language until you went to school, or perhaps in kindergarten. In school, you were taught to read and write. From this quick analysis, we can make a formula. Start with speaking, continue with listening, and finish with reading and writing. Now it's time to talk about 2 main types of languages. Globally, all languages can be divided into 2 categories. First, Indo-European, and second is Afro-Asiatic. Why do you need to know this? Here is an example. С 2 до 5, 2'den 5'e kadar. The difference lies in word order and syntax. In Russian, the preposition to, do, comes before the word, while in Turkish, equivalent comes after the word. Makes sense, right? Vocabulary acquisition is more individual topic. Everyone needs to find their own approach. Here are 2 methods that I use. The first method is flashcards. You take flashcards, write the word on one side and its translation on the other side. Sort the cards quickly into 2 piles. Words you remembered right away and words you need to review. You can even create digital flashcards if that's more convenient. And the second method is interesting stories. To remember a word, come up with a funny or engaging story. For example, the English word puddle sounds like Russian word paddle. Fell. So I made up a story. Someone fell into a puddle. I'd love to share more about language learning, but I wanted to keep this video short and simple. If this video gets any attention, I might make another one. This was Alika.